How's everyone doing? Thank you for coming back. This is my third attempt at making this video now. I don't know what happened. My phone storage was full and it cut me off in the middle of the video twice so far. So we're attempting the third time to make this video now. So what had happened previously, before the phone cut out, was I replaced this throttle arm on here. Alright, so what I did was I had broke this on the previous video, the first video I made on this car, when I was trying to get the carburetor linkage off of this connection here. So now the issue I'm having is I installed the new linkage, the new arm, this piece here. If you need this part, this is the part number. Should be on here somewhere. Yeah, 1697 is the part number that I had ordered. I can show it to you here in the book somewhere. It has that part number that I had ordered. Find it real quick for everyone. I think I'm getting close. Where is it? Actually, now I don't see it. I know it's in here somewhere. Anyways, there's a part. The part number is in here for that piece. It actually might be on this other piece of paper. No, it's not on here, so it's in here for sure. Just wanted to show you guys, just in case you need the same piece or something. If I can find it. I cannot find it now, so that's alright. Anyways, the part number's in here somewhere. But yeah, we replaced this part, and this is my third attempt at making this video. So what we have going on now is this armature is supposed to be lined up with the hole in the carburetor. So if we wiggle this off of here real quick, you can all see, let me put this light back on. You can all see that this is perfectly lined up with that hole. Okay. But the problem I'm having is when I set this on at 90 degrees onto the servo, which this shows 90 degrees. You can see these other positions are all different positions here, but this is neutral on the remote. Should be 90 degrees, and that hole should be closed. That hole is way too far open. Okay, so what I have to do is if you look on the instructions here, there is no metal rod sticking out of the adjustment. Over here we have metal rod sticking out, so I believe that is the problem that I'm having. Like I said, I know this part number is in this book too, so this is kind of pissing me off right now, because this is the third attempt at making this video. 3 tries. Every time I start recording, the phone would shut off and say the memory's full, and I'm like, what's going on here? Because I know that this phone had memory on it. The last time I used it, it was working fine. So just trying to find this part number, because I know I found it, and now it's pissing me off. No, it's in here somewhere. See if I can find it on here. I know it's 16 something. Nope. Let me see. Nope. What is it? 1697. 1697. Oh, it's weird. I found it in here before. So, oh, here it is. There you go, guys. 1697. So that's the part that I ordered. 1697. That's what we replaced. just had the old one here on the table a second ago. Here it is right here. Here's a piece of it. Here's the other piece. And I replaced this off camera now because I didn't want to upload 2 videos for one fix, because that's what was happening last time I was making videos and I was getting frustrated. That's very frustrating to do. Not even complete something while you're making a video. So anyway, thank you for joining, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an Allen key and try to open this and adjust this so this is a little bit further out. So let me get my tripod, get you guys into the tripod without messing the phone up or stopping the video, hopefully. And I am going to find an Allen key. Just give me 1 second so I can find my set of Allen keys, which I know I had in here. I just had them. Okay, here we go. I got a brand new set of Allen keys here. I actually picked these up at Walmart they were like I think $3.88 or something like that. They were really, really cheap, and I was like, you know what, that'll be a good set for my hobby stuff. And then I could put my bigger set back into my car tools. So I'm just opening this box real quick to get these out of this package so that we can attempt to adjust the throttle linkage on this. So this is a good video for anyone that has bought an old Nitro car and you want to figure out how the adjustments should be. All you really need to do is either have the original instructions that came with the car. You can see this instruction shows this car had a rear exhaust, but apparently it has a HPI pipe on the side now that comes out on the side. So I believe someone probably updated that over the years. So what I'm trying to do now is find this linkage adjustment so I can show you what I'm going for. So what I would like to happen is I need to move this out a little bit. So just wanted to show you guys why. Just in case someone runs into the same problem, like let's say you buy a used Nitro or something and you're trying to get the linkages to properly line up and everything, and you're sitting there having the same issue I'm having going. Yeah, well, this don't look like it does in the instructions because it's not the way it's supposed to be. So let me just find the right size Allen key for this little grub screw here. Hopefully one of these fits. Oh yeah, look at that, first try. Perfect. Okay, so that was easy. That even came loose pretty easily. So what I want this threaded rod to be right at the end of this adjustment right here. Okay. So now we have what we want. The carb is all the way closed. I don't know if you can see that. The carb is all the way closed. And this armature is at 90 degrees in accordance with the servo. So I may need to adjust this one here, but that doesn't look easy because the grub screw's on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is right now, before I attach this to the servo, is I'm going to loosen this grub screw and turn it around and put it so that I can adjust it from the top. Okay, there we go. Alright, now why you need this grub screw to be adjusted properly is this spring here. You see this spring? Will actually force this servo attachment right here. If you don't have this adjusted correctly, let's say I put this servo horn onto the servo here. and this is adjusted loosely here, you can see that the throttle is actually moving. And if this spring is not pushed up against this piece here, it won't return the throttle to closed position and lock it in with the servo. So if this is like this, you have all of this movement here, which is no good, okay? So what we want to do is we want to push this so there's a little bit of pressure making this all tight, so that that carb hole is all the way closed to the throttle screw. You see that Phillips head screw right there? This one? This throttle cannot close any more than this without moving this screw. That's exactly what you want. You don't want your throttle to be floating around like this, to be able to open and close over there just by sitting there vibrating. So you want this, a little bit of tension on there, just enough to stop this from moving around. So I'm gonna put this down, this tripod down, and I am going to, let me try to get this light a little bit brighter for you guys. Is that any better? Hopefully that's better, so that you guys can see what I'm going to do here. Alright, so I'm gonna put that right there, and I am going to spin that grub screw to the top. Now right here there's no tension, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push this a little bit so that there's a little bit of constant pressure. That's all we need, so that this is tight to here, so that these two pieces are basically one. Now the reason you have this spring is, I will show you right now, is I need to find the servo screw, which I had on this table, but my cat was walking around and hopefully did not move that servo screw. This is the throttle screw. I believe this is the servo screw. Okay, so I have the armature adjusted where I believe I want it to be. Let me turn the radio system on and make sure that it is where in fact I want it to be. Yeah, that's, to me, that's perfect right there. That's closing all the way. That's right in the middle. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but this seems a little bit glitchy. You see how that servo's still moving? So I may not have had a problem with the servo. I think the problem is actually with this controller here, because that should not be glitching like that. I put the controller down. The controller is sitting there by itself, and that is moving a little bit. So I'm not going to run this on this AM radio system we have here. I'm actually going to shut this off, shut this remote off, and I'm going to, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to screw this servo down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this, which is a Fly Sky receiver that I have just because I had a bunch of different RC cars and I picked up a bunch of these receivers. So this is actually my last one, but this can link up to my Fly Sky GT3, the one that I made the homemade mount for. So what I'm actually gonna do is, I normally, if you see this anywhere else, just remember you've seen this here first. You see this Velcro on the bottom of here? I actually super glued this Velcro to the bottom of this receiver here. And what I normally do is I take the opposite piece of Velcro and I would super glue it down somewhere in the chassis. But this Velcro has a little bit of sticky stuff on the back of it already. It's already sticky. So I do not want to do any damage to this car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece off of here, which is the opposite type of Velcro that goes onto here. And this is going to be stuck down on top of this receiver box with just whatever kind of glue it comes on the back of this. Now I can set this on top of here and run my modern radio system and not have to worry about the car taking off and turning into a runaway on me, because I don't want that to happen. Because recently I bought something else that wasn't RC related. I bought myself a different car, so I want to show you guys all about that one day, because it's something I always wanted, and I finally got one. It's not perfect condition or nothing, but I still like it. I'm gonna fix it up over time. So what I'm gonna do is tighten this down. And also my other project that I was talking about, I don't know if you guys watched all my other videos, but I was talking about my project Honda Civic that I have, which is a 1995 Honda Civic 4-door that I have to install a clutch in. And I actually started taking the car apart to do the clutch off camera, just because it was very time consuming. I took the lower ball joints out, and I actually took the axles out already, and I actually took the whole hub assemblies off the car, because the lower ball joints were no good. Actually, some of the bolts were actually stripped out when I went to go take them off the car, so that was actually kind of dangerous. I'm kind of glad that I actually got a chance to catch it in time before, the thing came flying off the car when I was driving it. So now I have two Honda Civics. I have the 95, and I just got, last Saturday, I just got a 2007 Honda Civic SI 6-speed with the K-Series motor in there, and it's on airbags, so I can literally raise and lower the car up from my cell phone, which I'm going to show all you guys. But yeah, that's what I kind of got wrapped up in. That's why I haven't actually made a video in about a week, because I kind of got excited about the car, and now like kind of all my money's tied up in that. But I already had this piece last week, but I kind of just been laying back watching other YouTubers make videos, because I kind of like watching other YouTubers make videos. There's not one YouTuber on YouTube that I dislike for any reason at all. I kind of like everybody because they're unique. We all have our own uniqueness and our own contributions to the hobby. So, I enjoy the hobby as it is. So now we have this linkage set up correctly. You can see that we have 90 degrees here, and we have the carb pretty much closed. Like, it doesn't close any further than that, actually. Now what I wanted to show you guys is why that spring is there. So we'll turn this on, we'll turn this remote on. So when you apply brakes, that's brakes, that spring allows you to hit the brakes and not put crazy amount of pressure closing the carb. So this spring allows this to close that way, which is brakes, and not actually force everything and break everything up. Now this seems like, to me, let me check how this is rolling. It seems to roll pretty smooth. Let me see if I have brakes when I go for brakes. So we have wide open throttle. Yeah, we're getting full throttle, getting full closed. See, because I'm hitting the brakes, and this carb is not moving at all. So that means that our trims are set correctly. Actually, I would rather have a little tiny space, just the tiniest amount of space between these two so that I know that this is always returning to the screw, so that if I need to adjust the throttle, I just adjust it from the screw and I'm not doing it from the remote. Because what becomes annoying is, let's say you adjust it from the trim. Let's say you need more, you need the carb more open for this to stay running at idle. And you adjust it from here, which in turn would look like this. Would look like you opening the carb from your trim adjustment, which is this screw right here. So when you turn this knob, you're opening and closing. You have the chance to open and close the carb from here. But then what happens is, let's say you adjust it like this so that the carb is a little bit more open. Watch what happens when you push the brakes. Every time you push the brakes, if you do that as your primary adjustment, every time you hit the brakes, your engine is going to cut off because it's not being adjusted by this. This is where you need to do your adjustments. So I always like to make sure that my trims are set so that these two are, they just stop touching, and that this is being all the way closed. Every time I let that go back to neutral, that this is going back to home position. This is going back to the screw. So that if I need to adjust the idle, all I have to do is turn this in or turn this out. And I do not have to worry that when I step on the brakes, it's going to cut off all the way to the other side of the parking lot or a field or something. So that's the way I personally like to run my stuff. Now the problem is, with this adjusted like that, it seems like brakes may be a little bit on. So all I gotta do is loosen this up a little bit. And now we have perfect rollage. So this car rolls back and forth very easily with no brakes being applied. But when I do hit the brakes, like I'm holding the brakes right now, car tires are locking up. So that's how you properly set up your car and your linkages. Now you can see that this is currently not at 90 degrees now, because I have no more adjustment here. I don't want to set this at the end where this metal rod is inside of here recessed, because let's say this slips off of here or something. When you're going for full throttle like this, let's say this end comes off. My light just went out. Let me turn this light back on. I don't know what's going on. Light's not coming back on. Oh, I think the power source overheated. It's alright, just give it a second. There we go. Okay, so what'll happen is if this slips off of here at full throttle, like you're pushing, this is full throttle, wide open throttle. If this end piece comes off of here, you have the potential for this to be stuck at wide open throttle and then destroy itself. So you don't want that happening either. So this is the maximum you can adjust this at this particular angle. So I'm trying to see if there's any way that I can improve this angle. Maybe that's the reason it was adjusted the way it was. No, because actually I want more of that. So this linkage, if this was like that much longer, then I'd be able to pull this out a little bit more. And in this position right here, which is 90 degrees, this is not fully returning to home, if you can see what I'm saying. This is not returning to idle with this, like this, even with this adjusted out. So this is like that much shorter than I would like it. But still, if we used the trim, we can get this to return to home, if you can see what I'm saying. So you want, me personally, my opinion, the perfect setup is to have this, just these two pieces just start to separate. Just right there. As soon as they start to separate, you know that this carburetor is sitting, the throttle stop is the screw. So that is my idle gap that I currently have set with the screw. Let me try to get you guys in there a good angle. You see that gap? That may be too big. But that's where we're going to start from because that's the way I got it. So I'm going to start with that. I have this set at factory settings. I may screw this back in because it was running good at 1.5 screws out from all the way bottomed out. So we'll see how it runs at 3 screws out, like the instructions say to do. So basically, we have this set up correctly now. All of this is repaired. I put this back on off camera. Like I said, the video shut off. I may be rambling because, kind of excited. I haven't made a video in like a week because I kind of got wrapped up in my car and I was messing with it and I was messing with the other car. I ripped the whole front end apart, got ready to put the clutch in because I have the parts. I just, it's been cold and I've been tired, so I haven't done it. So I haven't been recording like I should be, at least. So anyways, let's throw this filter back on here so nothing gets down in there. The car is off position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this receiver, like I said, and I'm going to take this Velcro with the sticky stuff on the back. I'm going to cut a piece off, put it on top of here so that this stuff comes off and it doesn't peel anything with it, which I like. So as long as I don't glue this down, it'll be alright. Normally what I do is I take this stuff with the sticky glue on the back and I take super glue and I apply it directly to the Velcro itself, which I did on here. And you cannot get these pieces off of this receiver too easily. Now normally that's enough if you super glue this piece to here and you super glue one piece to the chassis. Now the reason I'm not doing that here is because I don't want to mess this chassis up and ruin the value of it or anything, but I'm gonna still use a piece of Velcro to attach it here. But normally if you put super glue here and attach the Velcro to here and then super glue on this and attach the Velcro to this, these won't come off unless you want them to. Now the reason I do that is because if you decide to move your radio system or change your radio system, all you then have to do is rip 2 pieces of Velcro apart. You separate these 2 pieces of Velcro and the whole receiver comes out and you could change the receiver and everything very easily with no issues at all. Now, like I said, if you see this anywhere else after this video was made, you know where you saw it first. So Velcro with super glue attached to your receiver and then Velcro and super glue attached to your chassis, which I did to my Rustler, I believe, and I did that to my Duratrax Rays. I'm trying to think if I did it to any of the other ones. Well, I had a Red Cat Volcano back in the day, electric one, and that's how the receiver was attached to that also. This receiver came out of one of my old, probably electric cars that I had back in the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of this, put it on here, and then be done with that for now. This way, like I said, you guys heard that that servo was still glitching. Even, let me change the angle so you guys can see me when I'm cutting this thing up here. So, yeah, best cutters in the world is tin snips. So, anyways, you can see what I'm doing here is I'm taking a piece of this Velcro here, attach it to this. Now you peel the backing off of here. This Velcro came from the dollar store. So now we have the sticky part. You see that? That's glue. It's not very sticky. That's why normally I take super glue and super glue this down. Because normally, I mean, it's sticky enough, but normally I like to make sure it's really stuck in there. But I'm not going to be jumping this or anything, so this ain't going to come off of here. Now you can see, I just pushed that down. That ain't going to go nowhere. I'm telling you, that ain't going nowhere. Especially if you glue this down, you glue that piece down, that ain't going to go nowhere. But you see, like it'll come off of here still because the glue is not the best. It is from the dollar store, but this is not going to be being jumped or something, so it's not going to come off of there. So now we have that in there. All I have to do now is I want to figure out where I'm going to tuck this antenna because I don't want this getting eaten up by the belt. This may be good enough. I'll just figure out something for that in a second. But all I have to do now is just plug these attachments into here, and this is ready to go. So let me actually do that now. Okay, channel 1 is down here at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. Channel 1 and channel 1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull this out of here, which this whole receiver box just come apart like nothing. Let me try to get this light back on. This light keeps shutting off because of the power supply. Gotta get a better power supply for this light. Alright, let me put this phone down a second because this is hard to do with one hand. I appreciate you guys joining me back on this journey. Like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys my new bigger toy outside soon. Like I said, I'm still into cars. My toys got bigger, that's all. So I ended up getting the car I kind of wanted for a long time. And you know, it's not the last car I'm gonna buy either, but it's something nice to have. You know, you go to work every day, you want to have something nice to show for it and stuff. You guys, I know you guys understand. Alright, so we gotta get this one on channel 2. And then we gotta get the power supply out and plug this into... I'm just gonna plug it into the top one. I don't know if that's correct or not. But that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see how it does. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I just did. Channel 1, channel 2, and the power supply, I just basically all swapped them over to here. My phone is low on power, so I don't know how much longer it's gonna record. If it cuts off, I will make another video tomorrow or something of this thing running. So what I'm gonna do now to test this out is that works. Okay, that light's blinking, so we have power there. All I have to do is take these batteries out of this. Let me get this tripod straightened back out. Okay. I have to get these batteries out of here, out of this remote, and put them back into the other remote to test this radio. I'm not sure if that receiver is linked to this remote or not, to be honest with you. I don't know the last time I used that receiver. So we're gonna find out together. I appreciate everyone joining me. Like I said, this is the 3rd time I tried making this video tonight. 3 times. And some of the time lately, for some reason, it's been taking forever for my videos to upload. So if I make this tonight is Saturday. If you don't see it tonight, you'll probably see it in the morning, because it's been taking a really long time for my videos to upload for some reason. So I don't know what the issue is. Before, I was having them upload in literally minutes. I was able to upload videos, and then all of a sudden, the last video I uploaded took a very long time for some reason. Took overnight, and then it uploaded the next morning, and I couldn't figure out why. So we'll see how long this takes to upload. Let's turn this on. I got this set on Tamiya. Let's change the model. Bandit. Alright, let's try something. Rustler. Trying to see something that I don't have nothing saved to. Alright, so this is Stampede. This is the Losi. I have the Losi buggy link to this. That's the Tamiya. Bandit. I had a Traxxas Bandit. I guess it's safe to. 116 is the Sportworks FS5. I'm gonna use FS5 for this, and we're gonna change the name to HPI, because this is the only HPI that I have. It is the first one, so this is all new to me. So we're gonna find out how smooth this thing is together. Okay, H. I messed it up. Okay, I gotta go to the next letter. H. Let's see. P. There we go. HPI, baby. All right. So now let's fire this car up and see if it's linked. Oh yeah. So we got, show you guys, we have the GT3 remote operating the vintage. And the nice part about this, I actually have to reverse. Let me reverse channel 2 because, okay, I don't know what's going on here. What did I do? It's been a while since I used this. Reverse channel 2. I want to set that to normal because now I'll show you what I just did. The reason I just did that was because this is the throttle. Okay, that's when you hit the gas. So you want that pulling that way to open the carburetor. What was happening is when I had this the other way, when I'm pulling on this, that's supposed to be gas, is actually closing the throttle and pulling the brakes. That's the brake right there. So what you do is you go into your settings and you go into servo reverse. You push this button here and you turn it back to normal. And then also I want to check my trims because this was probably set up for a different car at some point. Okay, everything was at 0, so that's good. Now dual rates, I want to check the dual rates. Now what dual rates are is when you pull your throttle, it allows you to adjust the maximum amount that this is throwing. So I want everything at 100% for now. I am going to mess with that off. Actually, I'm gonna mess with it now. This phone's about to run out of juice and I don't want it shutting off in the middle of the video, but if it does, please come back for the next video. So right here we have dual rate channel 2, which is throttle. Okay, so what we want to do is to adjust this properly, we want to look into the carburetor. Okay, now right there the carb is maxed out. Now if you can look at the same time, I am not pulling this all the way, and this is all the way open. So what happens when you do that is you still have You see how the servo is pulling past? This is open all the way already, and the servo is still trying to pull. See how that's open all the way, and it's still attempting to pull more. Like right there is full throttle, and I still have more. Full throttle, more. Full throttle, more. So what dual rates allow you to do is you can turn down the dual rate. So channel 2 is what we're on. So I could turn this down to 90%. So that when I pull this throttle all the way, it only pulls 90% of what this servo is capable of. So like now, when I hit full throttle with my finger, I don't have that extra pull going on. So that's full throttle on the controller, and that's full carb open, and we're not straining the servo. So that's perfect. So that's how you set up your dual rate for your throttle on a Nitro RC car. And you guys seen how I set up the linkages so that your linkages are correct. And you can see that my throttle trim is 0. This is fully closing. You see how I had that little bit? This is fully closing the carburetor. So I know for sure that this is returning to idle, to tick over on the idle screw. So that if I adjust the idle screw, that is the only thing that is going to mess with the tick over, or idle as it's called. And this is the brake linkage here. So when I pull brakes like this, try to move the car, you can see the tire just slides. So we have full brakes, we have full throttle, we have full return to center on the throttle linkage, and we have the new GT3 receiver setup. So what I'm going to do with this wire is actually, it's a very short antenna wire. This actually doesn't even need to stick out of the body at all, because these are very good receivers that they have nowadays, and not like the old ones, which you can see how big this antenna is. It actually comes up and then runs back down the outside. That's how big the old antennas are. I'm not going to remove this because I do not want to hurt the vintageness of this RC car. I'm actually still running the original battery pack box, and you can see it's working perfectly fine. Actually, you got to check this out. I have to reverse the other thing too, because when you turn this way, the wheels should be turning to the right, and you can see that the wheels are turning to the left. So what we have to do to fix that is we have to go back down here to reverse. We're on channel 1. Channel 1 should always be your steering, and push this button here, and then we're going to put that back in normal mode. And now when we turn this to the right, this is my right, I'm turning to the right, the wheels turn to the right. So that's how you set up your RC cars correctly. And it looks like the dual rate's okay on that. So before the phone batteries die, I want to thank everyone for joining. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate all the support. The last thing we're going to do now is reinstall this this fuel tank, which I had to remove because I had to get my finger in underneath to hold this new servo in. I'm sure you guys remember that. If you don't remember that from the previous video, please check out the previous video. Now I need to see how this is supposed to run, because I do not remember how this I just dripped nitro all over the place, of course, but I don't remember how this fuel line comes through here. I actually should have emptied the nitro out of this before I tried to do this. I actually believe that this line goes up underneath here because there's a pretty good size space for it. I am going to attempt to run this the way I think it goes. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I'm probably going to get nitro all over everything because that's what's going to happen. Okay. I need to see if I am doing this correctly. Alright, I'm going to put this over here. I don't think I'm doing this right, but yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Let me get this out of my way. Alright, there. I don't remember the correct routing. I have to go back and look at how this was set up. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I am going to reinstall this tank off camera because I need to check my old video. Actually, I don't know how much battery's left on this phone here. So I need to recheck my old video and see. Let me see if I can check from my other phone real quick and check where that fuel line runs, because I can't quite see the correct routing for it and I don't want to route it the wrong way. So let me just check real quick. Alright, we got 10% battery left, so we're still okay. Alright, so let me see how this fuel line is routed. Just give me 1 second. Trying to get on my own video here and I got ads going on. So I got ads on my own video. Hopefully that means something.
How's everyone doing? Thank you for
let me
coming
take
back
a
to
look
the channel.
at this fuel tank. Just give me 1 second and I will show you guys what I'm looking at. Alrighty here. Okay, it looks like it comes up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it comes up and over like this. So you see this little notch here, that the pipe actually comes up and goes that way. So I was going the wrong way, so good thing I stopped and checked. So I'm actually not going to install this off camera. I will install it now with all of you. Thank you for watching all my videos. If you do watch them, I appreciate it. If not, it's alright too. I appreciate it anyway. Like I said, I'm going to continue making videos. I just got a little preoccupied with my car and stuff and life. You know how it goes. I'm sure you all understand. You have your own lives going on and stuff going on. So I spilled nitro all over the place. That's typical. So we are going to bolt this fuel tank back down now. I did not want to spill nitro all over the place, but what are you going to do? I will clean it up later on. I need to get these screw holes lined up. Like I said, this video actually got frustrating to make because I attempted to make it 3 times. I started talking, I introduced myself, I said thank you for joining, and the freaking video cut off. It would cut off each time. I'm like, come on, man, what's going on here? Now my light just shut off, so that's alright. We're almost done here. Just get this screw tightened down. And this is what I was saying about the servo, okay? You remember how I was saying they could have just molded the screw holes into the chassis? They molded those screw holes into the chassis for the gas tank. Why couldn't you do that for the servo? How hard could that have been? I mean, seriously, how freaking hard could that have been to mold that into the freaking chassis? Are you freaking kidding me? But whatever, I still like the thing. We'll get this back on there. There we go. Okay. 100% fixed. So we are ready to run. Tomorrow we're going to be, I'm going to attempt to run this tomorrow on the street next to my house. Like I said, I hope you guys get to watch this video tonight. If you don't get to watch it tonight, it'll be tomorrow, and it's only because of the amount of time that it takes to upload. So it's nighttime right now. It's 10:08. So I just wanted to show you guys a picture of my new ride. There you go. I don't know if you guys can see it. The camera doesn't want to focus. It's nighttime, so I can't actually go outside and show you right now. Yeah. It's a 07 Civic Si 6-speed. So we got 2 speeds right here. We got my 6-speed Civic Si outside, and then I have a 95 4-door Civic with a single cam in it that is a 5-speed. So we have 11 speeds of manual cars sitting outside. Then we have 2 speeds in here. Then we have all the single speed ones I have. And we have lots of cars. So that's what I'm into. I'm into cars of all sizes. Little cars, big cars. I could probably actually open the window right now and show you guys the cars outside. So you really can't see, but there's my Acura. Yeah, you can't see nothing. The window's foggy. Behind that is the red Civic. And then behind that is the other Civic. Let me try to show you another picture that I took of the new Civic that I have. I took this picture yesterday. She's on airbags. So I can literally lower this thing to the floor and set it on the floor. I'm trying to get this camera to focus over here. There you go. And then I can raise it up. It's pretty nice. I love it. It's a clutch ain't that great on it. The clutch is at the end of its life, but I'll baby it for now till I finish paying for it. So that's the update. I wanted to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the likes and the support. And I will catch you on the next one. I hope to see all of you on the next one.